Hey everyone, welcome back to Genai Sports News. We're going to start today's show on a somber note, because the sports world has lost one of baseball's most beloved figures. According to ESPN, former Major League Baseball outfielder Garret Anderson has passed away at just 53 years old. Anderson spent 15 of his 17 big league seasons with the Los Angeles Angels, cementing himself as one of the franchise's all-time greats and earning a well-deserved spot in the Angels Hall of Fame. Baseball fans will remember him as a consistent, quiet superstar, the kind of player who just showed up and delivered year after year. He was also named All-Star Game MVP during his career, a moment that highlighted just how special a talent he was. 53 years old is far too young, and our thoughts go out to his family, his former teammates, and the entire Angels organization. Rest in peace, Garret Anderson, a true legend of the game. Now let's get into some massive baseball business news. ESPN is reporting that the San Diego Padres are on the brink of being sold for a jaw-dropping $3.9 billion. And if that deal closes, it would be the most expensive sale of a Major League Baseball franchise in history. A source confirmed the details to ESPN on Friday. Think about that number for a second, $3.9 billion. That's not just a record for baseball. That's a statement about where professional sports franchises stand as investments right now. The Padres have spent heavily in recent years building a competitive roster, and clearly whoever is buying in sees enormous value in the brand and the market. We'll keep you posted as this deal gets finalized, but for now, San Diego baseball is about to look very different at the ownership level. All right, football fans, this is the one we've all been waiting for. This Sunday, Arsenal travel to Manchester City in what could be the match that decides the entire Premier League title race. ESPN has a full breakdown of what's at stake, and the storylines heading into this one are absolutely enormous. On one side, you've got Arsenal fighting to hold on to whatever lead they've built. On the other, a Manchester City squad that's been chasing all season long. And the managers are not holding back with the mind games either. According to ESPN, Pep Guardiola has straight up said the title race will be, quote, over if City lose to Arsenal this weekend. That's a bold statement from a man who's won this competition multiple times. But here's the fascinating counter. Sky Sports reports that Erling Haaland is feeling zero pressure going into this one. The Norwegian superstar says City have nothing to lose after spending most of the season playing catch-up. So you've got Guardiola treating it like a must-win, and Haaland almost playing the role of the free swinger. Whatever the mindset, this is appointment television. Sunday cannot come fast enough. Switching over to the NBA now, and Victor Wembanyama is continuing to make everyone's jaw drop. ESPN has been highlighting the top 10 plays from Wemby's record-setting 2025-26 season, and honestly, the compilation is something else. Slams, blocks, and game winners that remind you you're watching something genuinely generational. The French phenom has reportedly built a strong case for not just the MVP award this season, but also Defensive Player of the Year. That's right, the same guy might win both. ESPN's Tim Bontemps has also released his full official awards ballot, and according to that report, the MVP race in particular is shaping up to be one of the most fascinating in recent memory. Wembanyama, in just his second or third year in the league, is already forcing the conversation. The kid is not of this world, and the numbers back it up completely. Hockey fans, your time has arrived. The 2026 NHL playoffs are about to get underway, with the opening round starting this Saturday on ESPN. ESPN has put together a comprehensive guide to all 16 playoff teams, and there's plenty of drama to unpack. The Colorado Avalanche are among the frontrunners to hoist the Stanley Cup, alongside the Carolina Hurricanes and the Tampa Bay Lightning. But here's where it gets interesting. ESPN also reports that despite the AVS being favored, the betting public is falling in love with a long-shot story. The Buffalo Sabres, who have been playoff-starved for years, are attracting a ton of betting attention from fans who want to see the underdog write a fairy tale ending. Look, the favorites are favorites for a reason, but that's the beauty of the playoffs. Anything can happen once you flip the calendar to April and May. This is the NHL's second season, and it's going to be electric. Let's head to the tennis court, where a Grand Slam legend is giving a major vote of confidence to Britain's Jack Draper. According to Sky Sports, former U.S. Open champion Juan Martín del Potro has come out and said he genuinely believes Draper has the game to compete with the world's very best, specifically naming Jannik Sinner and Carlos Alcaraz. Now, that is serious praise. Del Potro himself knows what it takes to beat the elite, having done it himself throughout his career. But, and this is an important but, the Argentine legend also noted that the key question for Draper is whether his body can hold up. Staying healthy and building confidence in his physical condition will be the deciding factor in how far the young Brit can go. With both Alcaraz and Djokovic pulling out of the Madrid Open this week due to injury, as reported by BBC Sport, the door is slightly more open than usual. Draper has the talent. Now the body needs to cooperate. There's been a lot of noise surrounding LIV Golf's financial future lately, but the league's CEO is pushing back hard. ESPN reports that Scott O'Neill went on TNT Sports and stated flat out that LIV Golf has the financial backing to complete the entire 2026 season. Sky Sports adds more detail, with O'Neill saying the competition is, quote, funded through the season and promising to work like crazy to keep the league going amid swirling speculation that Saudi backers could potentially pull their support. Look, the questions about LIV Golf's long-term survival have been hanging in the air for a while now, and a CEO having to go on television to reassure people that the lights will stay on is never a great look. But O'Neill seems determined, and for the players and fans invested in this league, the message for now is, the show goes on. We'll be watching closely. And finally, before we wrap up, a spicy one out of the NFL. ESPN is reporting that Baltimore Ravens wide receiver Zay Flowers has opened up about what he believes caused the team's injury woes last season. And he's pointing the finger directly at the practice intensity under former head coach John Harbaugh. Flowers described the practices as, quote, heavy, and said that workload is why the Ravens dealt with such a high number of injuries throughout the year. Now that is a bold thing to say publicly about your former coach. Harbaugh, of course, has one of the most decorated resumes in the league. But the question of whether intense practices lead to more regular season breakdowns is a debate that has been going on across football for years. Flowers isn't the first player to raise it, and he won't be the last. Interesting timing as teams head into the off-season and reevaluate their programs. And that's a wrap on today's Genai Sports News. We covered a ton of ground today, from heartbreak in baseball to potential history in the Premier League. If you found this valuable, please smash that like button, subscribe to the channel, and hit the bell so you never miss a highlight. We'll see you in the next one.